If you're a heat and air technician or even a salesperson, what's a form of self-sabotage you have to learn how to deal with and be mentally tough, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets. Okay, so I want to give you an insight on something that comes up frequently, but not in the way that you think that it might. So I get phone calls from salespeople, entrepreneurs, business owners, and they go, "Hey Scott, I'm struggling right now." And I'm okay, this is normal. We all go through cyclical issues in life. Tell me about what's going on. And through conversation, we uncover something. Something happened in their life. Something caused them to wake up and go, "Hey, wait a minute, something's going on here." And what it comes down to is there was an event that triggered fair versus unfair. Like, it's not fair the way that this deal went down. It's not fair the way that I got fired. It's not fair. And like, we could fill in the blank with a lot of things of why something was fair or unfair. And this causes salespeople to start tumbling because they get caught up in all the time, energy, effort, risk, money, or reputation that they've put into an event, into an item, into a sales process, into an interaction. And so instead of focusing forward on the future, what happens is they're constantly looking over their back and going, "Hey, remember when? Hey, back here, this happened." Now, it doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't mean that it didn't suck. Doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt or didn't hurt. It doesn't mean that it's not fair or unfair. It's just, instead of focusing forward and looking this direction, you, me, everybody else gets caught up in fair versus unfair, and you're constantly, instead of looking over the shoulder, like, you start walking into things. You start missing items because you're looking this direction instead of this direction. Okay, and so this is more common than what you realize for phone calls that I get when someone's like, "Hey Scott, can you help me?" And we go back in time and we figure out, oh, this incident is the thing that's causing you to constantly keep looking backwards instead of looking forwards. And this right here is why you should join my email publication. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, or discounted training. So like, Scott, I get it. I was looking backwards. What I do. So first and foremost, you have to recognize when you start doing this. When you start saying the word fair or unfair a lot, like, instantly you should go, "Wait a minute, time out. Who has control of my life," right? The more that I start saying fair or unfair, I'm giving up control to somebody else. Somebody else is now in the driver's seat of fair versus unfair. Yep, it sucks, because when I go through this, I'm like, gosh darn it, right? It's not fair. And then I have to remind myself that if I go down this path, I'm constantly looking over my back shoulder going this direction instead of going forward. So you're like, "Scott, how do we get out of this?" Okay, first, one, recognize that you're doing it. Two, use it as fuel to go like, "Look, I'm going to prove these people wrong." The biggest sales slumps I have ever been in, the biggest mental downturns that I've taken when it comes to sales and business, is when I get caught up in fair versus unfair, right? And I just have to recognize and go, you know what I'm doing? I'm in a fair versus unfair loop. I'm in this, like, it's not okay. So one, recognize it. Two, talk to a therapist, talk to a trusted friend, talk to a mentor, get this off your chest, right? And they may go, "Hey, look, you've got 3 minutes. Let me set my clock. You've got 3 minutes. Complain about it all you want. And as soon as those 3 minutes are over, vow you are going to move forward. You may need 5 minutes. You may need 10 minutes. And like, when friends go through this with me, I'm like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what words you use. I know you're not talking to me. Get all of this out. Get every single bit of this off your chest. Get everything that you need out so that you can finally go, right? That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the moment. And as soon as you have that, you're okay. You're good to go. But you have to tell yourself, "Look, I've let it go. I'm not gonna stay in a loop on this. I've got to move forward. I've got to have this mental toughness. I'm not going to keep falling for self-sabotage. I'm not going to keep getting caught up in this game. I'm not going to get caught up in this loop." This one area right here holds more people back. They get on their ramp and they start going up, and they're like, "I'm on trajectory. I'm on my climb." And then something happens to them where they can either claim it's fair or unfair. Probably true, not true. Let's just say it's true. Climbing up, they get to like right here, And then it's like something happens, it's not unfair. So then they tank. And then somebody has to come back in. And instead of having like a climb that looks like this to success, it's like an ocean. And sometimes it's self-induced by us, right? I can tell you some of the things that have happened in my life, and you may look and go, okay, but they're important to me. So they're like this freaking big. To you, they're like this big. To me, they're like this big. You have to learn how to let these things go. And you have to learn that, like, okay, I got harmed. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I'm going to use that for tackling fuel. Like they say in The Water Boy, tackling fuel. I'm going to use this for tackling fuel, and I'm going to just move on with my life. If you're struggling right now and you're caught up in fair versus unfair, it'll turn into a poison for days, weeks, months, sometimes even years. You got to let it go. Get the help that you need. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, for like Friday. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.